when I was working at the homeless shelter. And while I was there, I experienced being laid off for the first time. I had never experienced that before. And it was at that moment, December 6, 1999. And so that lets you know that you don't forget something like that.
Right.
And I always would hear, you should have multiple streams of income. And it became very paramount that I needed to have more than that one stream of income. And I said at that point, I never wanted someone to dictate what I could and could not earn. So if they gave me that pink slip, that meant my resources, my financial increase just stopped. It was depleted. And I went down to the Division of Corporations, and on December 8th, I made a decision quick. And clearly, I teach, and as a coach, I teach my clients to move fast, because if you think about it too long, what happens is you don't act on those ideas, you don't execute. And oftentimes we become masters of ideation, but we do not execute those ideas. And so that was like the catalyst for me to start running and to creating my own. Why would I want to leave in the first place? And oftentimes it's because we may not be receiving the pay that we deserve, or the type of work we're investing, the effort, chronic stress. I think about one of my jobs when I transitioned out of that place of employment. The stress level alone, when it got to the place where it was like a matter of life and death, and my health was, literally suffering as a result of being in a toxic environment. To me, those are like non-negotiable. You gotta have your own non-negotiable. If you've been with a place 3-5 years and you've never received pay raise or promotion, clearly it's not a win-win situation. Are you growing? Are your skills being developed in that environment? Because you want to reach your fullest potential in any environment that you set your foot in, and you should be challenged. If they're not challenging, you should be asking for a challenge. And so often we end up being underutilized or sometimes overutilized, and that's when we have to recognize that we have the power. And when I used to be employed for someone, I didn't know that I had that kind of power. Being self-employed, I was able to get my power back, and I always say, she who holds the pen holds the power. And we can write a new story. We can create a whole different world for ourselves if we can see it. We can seize it. So when is it time to quit? When you say it's time to quit. When you are no longer growing, when you're not being valued, when you're ready to move. There's a lot of hurt and pain that has not been addressed in our community. And I used to be the woman that was dealing with depression, anger issues, daddy issues, all of that stuff. Did not know how to heal, did not go to a therapist, so it was just balled up inside of me. And now as an adult woman who's worked through her issues, and they still come up, but I said, I don't want to model what I've seen. I want to be the example, and I think we need to move beyond, okay, what are the issues? Okay, how can I be a contributor to the solution? And for me, all I do is I promote love, I promote healing, wellness, because it has to start with one of us. As an entrepreneur, I experienced the same thing as what Gwen was talking about. And I remember vendor events, creating products for our community and no one purchasing. And I remember one event in particular where I had probably about 20 pieces of jewelry that I spent all night designing. And they didn't buy them. And do you know what I did? I sold them. I gave them all away, and I blessed the women, because I refuse to be a part of the poverty mentality. I refuse to participate in it, because we have the power to change the course of our own destiny. And that means doing what is not. Only believe, because anything else, it just doesn't work. Only believe in yourself. Only believe when nobody else believes. Only believe. I have 13 vision boards on my office wall right now, because the only thing I will allow myself to do is believe, period. It's non-negotiable.